FromSoft games have, of course, become notorious for their difficulty. With the release of Elden Ring though, came the promise of a more accessible game, and it reached a much wider audience than ever before. Is it more accessible though? If so, by how much? Also, I can help you to get into the game if you're having difficulty. When I first started Elden Ring, I didn't understand it, of course. This is the character I made and the decisions I made. I liked the idea of having a light weapon and a heavy weapon, so I chose the dual-wielding class. I did find the game more accessible in general and played happily until I came upon my first challenge. I reached the Gatefront ruins and decided I wanted to clear it. This guy posed a real hurdle for me. As you can see, I tried a few times and I favored dodging. I have had a lot of practice with the game now, but back then my dodges weren't timed as well. I died many times. What I didn't realize was that my stats setup was utterly wrong. I had a lot of discussion in the game forums and got a lot of good feedback, and so I came back to the game and I tried to be smarter. Being able to block effectively was fairly important. The same was true of dodging. With more sensible equipment and stats, my dodges were faster and gave me more invincibility frames. And with higher vigor, I didn't need heavy armor to keep from dying. Defeating this guy for the first time was one of the most incredible feelings I have experienced in a video game. I realized that with perseverance, patience and work, I could overcome this guy. I felt like I had finally gotten the game. Then I came upon Margit.
Put these foolish ambitions to rest.
Of course, he wiped the floor with me. Well, I realized that I would surely have to do some leveling, get some new equipment and skills and come back. After playing for a week, I came back stronger and
These foolish ambitions.
he wiped the floor with me. An entire week's work and I was no better off. It is at this point I started to truly understand this game. Strength doesn't really mean all that. You have to learn this encounter, just like the previous encounters. Even as I killed Margit and continued into the castle, I came upon challenge after challenge. It seems this game is all about challenging the player time after time. Some players will not like that. Some players prefer a game where they can learn gradually as they play through, but Elden Ring presents a lot of steep challenges one after the other. So does this mean it's too hard? Of course not. Everything in this game can be overcome if you keep studying and keep analyzing your approach. The question is, whether this constant challenge is enjoyable for people who are perhaps tired, for one reason or another. So what is the answer? If you don't have the patience or the time, then simply find a way to make the game fun. After all, you did pay for it. Here is how you can adjust the game to your liking. First you need to go to the website for WeMod. This program accesses the game's memory and changes things while you're playing. FromSoft don't want you to do this, so unfortunately you can't play online with this, and of course you shouldn't. This isn't about making other people suffer. That's just not cool. This is about playing our game how we want, not hurting others. So play offline. It's just a shame that you can't see player ghosts, blood splatters, or messages. That's the sacrifice we have to make. FromSoft will block you anyway, so it's all good. So once you have downloaded and installed WeMod, you need to disable anti-cheat. Go into your game files from Steam like this. Rename the original anti-cheat file. Copy the game executable file. Then rename the copied game file to what the anti-cheat file was called. Now you need to link this into WeMod. Then you have to put this link file into the folder so WeMod can do its checks. Once that is done, it is best to launch Elden Ring from WeMod. Loading it from Steam and then trying to activate cheats can sometimes be problematic. Once it is loaded, you can enable the cheats you want using the keyboard shortcuts. You can also change these to whatever you want. I like to choose infinite hit points because I still want to enjoy the challenge of fighting. I may not die if I get hit, but I can judge how well I'm doing and I enjoy being able to kill them without getting hit. I also choose 10 times runes, because the leveling up process in the game feels way too slow. I wanted to improve the pacing. To that end, I also chose infinite items so I wouldn't need to spend so much time collecting resources. So there it is. In conclusion, Elden Ring is not too hard if you have the time and the patience to overcome each hurdle. If you don't have the time or patience though, it is okay to move the goalposts in the privacy of your own play session. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please smash that like button to pieces if you so wish.